Okay, world. Today is June 23rd, 2023. I'm in the house now, and this is what it looks like at about 20 minutes to noon. So it's not quite noon. It's not a super bright day out today. I mean, it's bright, but the sun is not beating down like it was yesterday. And it is really bright in my new house I haven't moved into yet. See, so I think I was very correct in having this house face the south, because you always get more light year round just from facing south. Houses should face the south if you want to maximize light, and you can see how incredibly bright it is in here. I don't like to live in gloomy houses and feel like I'm wrapped in a cave. I only like to sleep in a small room that's dark, of course. I feel like I'm bundled up. But as far as me moving around, just moving around throughout the day, again, the 10-foot ceilings throughout this house. As far as me just living in a house, I cannot be in a dark, gloomy house. And that will be my view of the pasture that will go out in front, directly in front of this house, right? So I did a good job as far as, making the whole house face south. And then in the back, you notice the back of the house is facing north. You don't want windows facing north. So my back wall in the master bedroom, there's no window facing north, okay? This is the mechanics room. There's exactly one window that's facing north. And over here in the master bath, we have got one transom window facing north. You have to have some light in the master bathroom. It's completely sealed. It does not open up, right? There's yours truly. And then as I come in here into this office space and spare bath, again, windows are facing south. There is no window in the spare bathroom. Okay, I actually kind of regret that. I think maybe I should have put a transom window in here, but no, I didn't. And then this is like a cloakroom, and this is designed for, I'm going to put benches and lots of hooks and all my winter gear, my boots and my different thermals, and I can just unload all of my stuff here. If I'm out there in a blizzard or in the mud with the animals, who knows? And then I can come over here, use the restroom, whatever. I need to get a mirror right there for above the vanity. And, I can be completely sort of disrobed or semi-disrobed before I enter the main part of the house. One step up, right? So what is my point in saying this? My point is that I only have one window facing north and one transom, very small transom window. Now I'm back in the garage. This is a 40 by 40 foot garage. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. And the builder asked me why so many windows. Well, again, I'm trying to maximize light. After having lived in California for the larger part of 37 years, it's very bright there. And these windows are not really well placed in the sense that these 3 windows are facing north. That one's facing west, where the wind comes from the west here. Wait a minute, south, north, south, east. Yeah, it's west. And but this is a garage. We don't live in the garage. This is a place to store my bicycles and my future snowmobile, my future side-by-side, right? I just wanted light. I don't want to have to always rely on these overhead lights which are very good electric system was put in this house. But again, I would like to most of the time walk out into the garage, step into the garage, and and have natural light. I'm all about natural light. And it's remarkably warm in this garage. Why? I'll tell you why. It's warm outside. When I stepped in the house, the house feels chilly. Why? The central air system is completely turned off now. So the temperature of the house, it just merely reflects the fact that this has got, foam insulation, layers of plastic. It's got the barn dominium steel around. This house, I paid so much extra money for all the installation. I don't even want to tell you how much, because I was not going to be cold in the winter living up here. I didn't want to be drafty. Again, these are 10-foot ceilings throughout this house. I don't like to live in a cold, drafty house. So it is insulated to the hilt, right? And this is the mechanics room. Again, Fred lives next door. He's always shooting chipmunks. There's my generator for when the electric goes out. And you can't quite see from this angle there it is, the air conditioner. I don't really use air conditioners. I didn't use the air conditioner last year. But in case I ever have to sell this house for resale value, you've got to have central air. Otherwise, this price is going to drop as far as resale value. Okay. I don't plan on leaving this house once I move into it. But life, you never know what's going to happen. I eventually want to be a principal and a superintendent. And if things don't open up in future years at my own school district where I work, where I really enjoy working, I may have to move out of the area. So one never knows. But my present goal is to stay right here at Houghton Lake. This is my plan, right? But again, in life, plans are written in pencil, correct? Successful people write plans in pencil, not in ink. This is my walk-in closet. Well, sort of walk-in. It's 3.5 feet in width. It's not sort of walk-in, sort of traditional. Here's my light switch. Turn it on. And now you can see, here's the light inside the closet. I'm in the closet right now. Again, everything in this house is 10 feet tall. I'm walking around this closet. So now you can put me on record, people. Watch. I'm coming out of the closet. See that? Woohoo! I just came out. A little bit of California humor for you. Okay, I'm missing a plastic light cover here. I'm missing plastic light cover. Switch cover. I'm missing. Oh, I know where it is. It's in the other room. I'm missing one cover here. So the house is waiting on 4 plastic covers. That one is there. Okay. And now I'm walking back out to the garage. And I'm missing the drain cover for the garage. Okay? These are insulated garage doors. Now, when I recover from spending all the money on this house, eventually, sometime this year, I'm going to have foam put right here against the walls for this garage. And Then I'll put the OBS and I'll panel it up. And the way this garage stands right now, it'll be really cold in March or February. But once, you can hear my echo. Once I get this garage insulated with the same foam I put in the house, then I'll be able to come out here in the winter and do stuff like a workshop in my garage without any heater. Believe it or not, yes. Because that's how well the foam insulation works around here. It's just, foam insulation is like a miracle of engineering. Here's my well. Here's my porch that I really, really like. So, see, half of the front is cedar. I need to put a sealant on that cedar. I like the looks of the house. The porch comes out 12 feet from the house. The house, I want to say, is the main part of the house, I believe, is 38 feet long. I believe this part of the house between the garage and the main house is not included in that 38 feet, but it comes out for sure 12 feet. I wanted to have a porch life. When people visit in the summer, we can sit on the porch, okay? The front out here is really going to be pasture land where all the ferns have grown. And these ferns in northern Michigan are pretty amazing. People take them for granted because they grow up here and see ferns everywhere. But even in the paleontological record, you will see these ferns, embedded in stones and whatnot from the dinosaur period. So the dinosaurs roamed the earth 66 million years ago. 65 million years ago, a meteor hit and supposedly killed off the dinosaurs. There are three leading theories as to why the dinosaurs perished. And you can read those theories in a book called Dinosaur Heresies or Dinosaur Controversies. I can't recall the name of the author. But there are three main reasons we're not sure the dinosaurs perished. But these ferns in larger form were here when these gigantic reptiles walked the earth. So what is my point? I love these ferns. These ferns are a very ancient species. Okay, here's my barn. I'm inside the barn now. Here's a door. I'll probably put a tack room right here. And we put plastic panels there so we would always, again, maximize light. Those panels are facing south. These panels are facing north. Now look at the difference here. To make my point about windows facing south. These panels letting in the southern exposure have ferns that are this size. And this panel, which faces north, has ferns that are pretty scraggly, pretty rough around the edges. They're not as well grown, as well developed. They're pretty weak looking ferns with the northern exposure. Over here, the ferns are well grown, well developed. See, again, that's a southern exposure issue. Now, these open doors will allow me to drive my truck through. I'm guessing this side will be a tack room, and then I'll put alfalfa and grains and whatnot on this side. And then, put a track, like a concrete track, maybe in the middle, not quite sure. And that side would be stalls for cattle. I might get one horse, goats. I don't know yet. The sky's the limit as far as livestock go. I will not put poultry in this barn. I will not put poultry in this barn because this is where the feed will go. I know that mice and rats always come eventually, But putting poultry in the same barn with feed is a recipe for disaster because poultry are very sloppy and they have feeders, and it's just too easy for mice and rats to come around when you got these hanging feeders and whatnot. So that's my view. So I'm not going to put the poultry in this barn. This is not an enormous barn for sure. I have friends who have really big barns. But remember, I am a hobby farmer. I am not a professional farmer. This barn is an excellent size for a hobby farmer, okay? Now back here, or this is actually facing south, I'll probably make a poultry yard in this field right here. All this is still up for conjecture, right? I love these beautiful ferns. Now, of my 10 acres, I don't have a precise measurement. I believe that's, I think I've cleared 1 acre, I think, because to wrap your brain around 1 acre, consider this. An acre is the size of a football field. So this cleared portion of my 10 acres looks like the size of a football field. And then the rest of the 9 acres is back here. Now I am wearing shorts. Stupid for me to walk back here in shorts. They might have poison ivy. In California, we had poison oak. I believe poison oak is west of the Rocky Mountains. In Michigan, we have poison ivy. They are cousin species. They're going to have red leaves when they're ripe. And then you are going to be in a heap of trouble once you walk through poison ivy or poison oak. Again, poison oak west of the Rockies and poison ivy east of the Rocky Mountains, to the best of my knowledge. These roads back into my 9 acres are the remaining roads from Paul Oster. I bought this property from Paul Oster, and Paul had a side-by-side, and people tell me, well, he would ride his side-by-side and keep the roads down. He would hunt back here. See this? Those are the tree carcasses of the trees that were pulled out from over there. This is a picture of the back of the barn. Again, I'll be able to drive my pickup through, or a tractor when I buy a tractor, right? Again, these wide roads were made by Paul because he had a side-by-side. And I need to do something to keep these roads open before trees start growing, because I like to be able to meander through the forest and not have to, thrash through thick forest. Problem with oak trees around here, something to do with some kind of beetle or something grows in the roots and kills them. This is oak, so this is not going to list disease they have in northern Michigan. Is going to wipe these oaks out. Ash are fine. The coniferous trees have cones. The pine trees are fine from that. I don't know if it's a beetle or a virus. I don't know. Kills trees. See, this oak tree is not going to last. The maple trees are completely fine. So when we cleared this acre in front, we left coniferous trees and maple trees, and we bulldozed all of the oak trees because they're destined for death anyway. And the ash trees are not worth keeping. And so when I thin out this forest a little bit for more animals, I will come in here on the weekends just for fun with the chainsaw, and I'm taking down these oaks. Now, oaks are magnificent. Oaks are beautiful. Oaks are in paintings in Europe. They have oaks in Europe as well. The oaks were revered by indigenous populations. The Vikings have a thing about oaks, right? Oaks are magnificent. But unfortunately, there's something that spread through the root system, and these oaks are all on the death sentence in northern Michigan. Once that root touches a root that has infected, it's gone. So we're going to see the end of that species. Who knows, maybe over the next 100 years. And the oaks that you see today are going to be the last of their generation. Such as life on Earth, species come and go. It's not right or wrong, it's just the way it happens, right? Okay, now I'm probably rambling and boring everybody. But I'm behind the barn now, and now I'm walking forward. Okay, that's Mike's house across the street. Looks like a Montana ranch house. That's Mike Nielsen, MBS Construction. That's his family house. They all went to the high school where I'm teaching. That family is like 4 generations Houghton Lake. And then that's their grain store right across the street. I'll be able to buy my grain. I can get everything but hay there. I have to drive to Lake City to get hay. And they've got goats across the street. And this is this is a barn dominium. It was planned to look like a barn. That's why the colors. And this is all steel. Barn dominiums are basically homes that require no maintenance at all. In the course of my lifetime, I will never have to do anything to the siding or the roof because the steel will outlive me. Okay? And then I'm getting closer to the street. My idea here is to put my gardens right here, because there's no trees, no bushes, it's clear across the street. The gardens will have full sunlight, and right here between the house and the road. And of course, I might be able to extend the growing season by a number of days by having more sun. And we put a water spigot right here, just because the garden would be right here, be a big garden. Back of the house now, that's the neighbor Fred. You can see my aircon, get natural gas hookup, and the generator. Okay. And we'll end this video pretty quickly. Gosh, it's a beautiful day in northern Michigan. I love this state. I've lived in 2 countries abroad. I've visited 22 countries. I've visited about a third of the United States. And I'm telling you, there's nowhere else I'd rather live than northern Michigan or the UP. Right? This is my place to live. My second choice would be Scotland, but I'm not going to Scotland. Okay? Here's my thing. Okay? And now I'm turning this off. Ciao.